Hello, Taylor Elwood, you're a mad scientist and magical experimenter at magicalexperiments.com. Today I want to talk about the topic of how to charge your um, electronic sigils, emoticons, whatever else. I'd been asked this question recently on Google+. Um, And people were saying, well, I can do an emoji magic working. You set up a sigil in the emoji or whatever else, or create my own custom emoji and use it as a magical working. Which, hey, is definitely possible. But people were kind of like, well, how does that even work? So, and one person was saying, well, I don't know how you would cast a circle and do all that in order to charge it. Well, the answer to that question is really you don't need to cast a circle in order to do magic, first of all. And second of all, um, with something like that, it's all a matter of setting up the magical programming, if you will. Let's talk about the first issue. A lot of people think that you have to cast a circle in order to do magic. And don't get me wrong, casting a circle does have its value in magical practice. With that said, I would argue that no, you really don't need to cast a circle. Casting a circle is really just about helping you to enter into the right frame of mind, the right field of consciousness in order to do magic. It can involve setting up some protective workings as well, so I don't want to discount that. But if you're on the fly, let's say you're somewhere and you need to do magic quick, you don't have time to necessarily put together a magical circle and do it. That doesn't mean you can't practice, you can't do the magical working. Magic is ultimately about entering a specific state of mind in order to cultivate a specific result. So it is possible to do it without that, and I would tell you that if you want to give it a try, just go out somewhere and try doing a magical working without doing the circle. See what happens. Find out for yourself if it works or doesn't work. I can say it's worked for me. To get back to the original question, the emojis, and doing a magical working that way. Let's say you decide to do one. Well, you could use existing emojis, or you could possibly create your own. The value of creating your own is that the very act of creating it is a magical working in and of itself. You're creating it, electronically, but you're also putting your thoughts, your emotions, everything else into it, and you're setting up specific details. If you're using a pre-existing one, you can still put some kind of programming into it. But I think the value of creating something is that it is truly an expression of yourself. But if you're like me and you don't know how to create emojis and you're just using what's there, then you're just going to have to accept, okay, I haven't created it, but I can still use it for magical purposes. Now, the way that I would do it if I were to use an emoji for magical workings is that I would set it up so that whenever I posted that emoji somewhere, it would get charged by the people who looked at it, it would get charged by people who commented about it, get charged by people who chose to share it or use it on their own. You get the idea. So basically, when people pay attention to something, when people share it, comment on it, whatever else, they're putting energy toward it. And a lot of times people let that energy go to waste because they don't know that. But if you know that, what you can do is you can take that energy being put toward it and you can actually use it as a way to charge the energy of the emoji and the energy of the working. And then how is it fired? How is it sent off? Well, again, that's up to you. The way that I would look at it is that for all intents and purposes, it's fired every time I post it. So if I post an emoji somewhere, it's getting fired at that point. And at the same time, it's collecting energy and attention. So it's a constant cycle of charge and fire, charge and fire, charge and fire. And the reason for that is because then what's happening is that you're basically having the magical working occur multiple times. And so it's continually being amped up, which increases its strength. And as for what you're going to do it for, well, I mean, that's up to you. I mean, you can do an emoji for protection, you could do an emoji for other things. I mean, it's up to you as to whatever it is that you come up with. But hopefully you get an idea from this as to how this kind of process works. This works whether you're doing some kind of meme, if you're using it for a meme, or a mem as some people pronounce it, or if you're using it for a sigil that you're putting online, or for an emoji, or whatever else. It's the same principle applies. And that is how you take something that's electronic and turn it into a magical working. If you have any questions about it, feel free to comment below, or any comments about what you do. And then if you want to, you can click on the T over here and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much and take care.